These are all the lies you've been told about Korea. As someone who's lived in Korea for 4 years, I feel like the Korea I see on TikTok and the Korea I see in real life are two totally different things.
4 years? 4 years is a little bit of a rookie. Just a little bit. I still think 4 years is enough time to, for sure, give your opinion about what's happening in Korea. 100%. I'm going to give you my opinion about her opinions as someone who lived there for well over a decade. So let's see what she has to say.
And a lot of these facts about Korea that content creators are feeding to you are just clickbaity overgeneralizations. So I made a list of some things that I am so tired of hearing on this app. Starting off with Korea is perfectly safe. Well, yeah, it's true. You can leave your phone, your wallet, your purse on a table somewhere out in public and no one will take it.
I love that about Korea, man. I love how safe it is in Korea. You can just go to Starbucks, leave your $5,000 camera, $2,000 laptop, go to the washroom for 30 minutes if you need to, come back and not have to worry about your things being stolen. Korea is so safe. And some people might say, well, it's safe because of the CCTVs, not the actual people. There's cameras everywhere in the States as well, in America and Canada as well. You put your phone down, turn around, it's already being sold in another country. So Korea, so far, yes, it is safe. But let's see what she has to say.
That doesn't mean that crime doesn't happen here. I see so many dangerous stories on TikTok of foreigners doing crazy things that they would never do in their home country, like sleeping in random men's houses,
Sleeping at random men's houses. Let me say something about that real quick. I don't think that's a safety thing. I think that's a habit thing. If homegirl's been doing sleeping at random dudes' houses in Korea, I'm pretty sure she's been doing this practice back in her home country, where it's considered to be less dangerous than Korea. So I don't know if that's a safety issue as opposed to a habit.
strangers to a secondary location where they get recruited into cults. The list goes on and on and on.
How do you get recruited into a cult forcefully? Now, I've been in Korea for a very long time. I was taking these Korean classes for like a year, 2 years, and taking the Korean classes is very helpful. They even gave me a personal tutor for like a year and a half. It was a cult. And I didn't really notice it was a cult until like a full year in. But it was a full-on cult. And they tried to like recruit me at the end of the sessions, and no. You just say no. And I got free Korean lessons. And again, I didn't really know it was a cult, or maybe I did, but the lessons were really good, and it helped me to this day with my Korean. So I don't know how you get, even if you get followed or whatever, and they tell you, oh, it's like join the church or whatever they call it, you can still say no.
It's important to remember that while yes, it's a relatively safe country, bad things can still happen to you, and we all need to stay aware.
Korea's a very safe country. I know what she's saying, and what she's saying, there's a lot of good points, but Korea's extremely safe, as you do see on social media too. If you act stupid anywhere, you're going to be in danger. If you act stupid anywhere, you're going to be in danger. So I think it's more of how people are acting as opposed to if the country is really as safe as we think it is.
Two is that everyone here dresses fashionably all the time. Like, this idea that you can't go out in the streets of Korea without having a fit is so weird to me. Of course,
who said that though? I don't know. Maybe she has her reasons for saying that. Sounds weird though.
If you're going out to trendy, popular places, people are going to be dressed nicely. But this idea that everyone in Korea is super fashionable and cares about fashion is just wrong. And
I don't know if it's more of the fashion as it is how Koreans take care of their image a lot more than North Americans do. Koreans really take care of their image. The people who are Koreans usually dress up. They normally dress up much more than I find that North Americans do. Now, does it mean that they don't wear, which is like the crazy fit now, gray jogging pants, a North Face jacket, and mask and slippers? That is super common as well. But I do find Koreans to dress up a lot more than Americans and Canadians do. But here's the thing though. Koreans, when Koreans dress up, it's like a very high level of dressing up. Let's say like an 8 out of 10. But that 8 out of 10 is everywhere. It's usually for work, for going out, for partying, clubbing, whatever. It's that same 8. It's either 8 or like what she's talking about, like jogging pants or whatever. There's not much in between. Back home, there's a lot more degrees. Koreans are usually on average higher. But when we have like a very special event to go to, we can go to 10. We can get formal. It's very, very rare to see Koreans really dress up like formally, like full suits, full on dresses, like formal attire. You don't see that too often in Korea.
Where if you're on the streets for more than 5 minutes in Korea, you'll see more Crocs and slides than you've ever seen in your life. Especially if you're just chilling in residential areas, going to the convenience store, going to the pochas. People dress very casually, and not even in cool streetwear ways. Number 3 is this idea that Koreans have never seen foreigners before. Disclaimer, Korean people stare. If you're a foreigner, they will stare at you. But people seem to have this misconception that they're staring because they've never seen a foreigner before and it's just so fascinating to them. If you're in Seoul, I guarantee you that that's not the case.
That's the thing though. Korea is bigger than Seoul, man. Korea is a lot bigger than Seoul. Especially if you go outside into the smaller cities. And you might see like the older people. This might be their first interaction with a foreigner. And they're probably going to stare. So she's right. Maybe in Seoul for sure. For Seoul has a bunch of foreigners. Yeah. But outside of Seoul, this might be true.
Every person, young and old in Korea, has seen foreigners before, whether on TV, in real life. It's not that isolated of a country. Sure, some people might stare and they might be curious about where you're from or what you're doing here, but they're not staring because you're some magical unicorn. And no, they don't think you're a celebrity. Next is that it's easy to meet idols and celebrities randomly on the street. While yes, Seoul is kind of a big, small town and you will see celebrities because they live and work there, I've lived in Korea for years and been to Seoul countless times.
I have no idea about this one. I don't live in Seoul. Seoul people, you have to let me know. Are you bumping into quote unquote celebrities on the street? Is this common? Is this common? For what I've heard, they have like their own little area and their own little places where they go. But I have no idea. Can't lie. I have no idea.
And I've never bumped into a celebrity. So especially when I see videos of tourists who say they've been here for a week and they've seen a celebrity every single day, it's a little sus. And I'm not saying that everyone who bumps into a celebrity randomly is a sasaeng, but if you're meeting celebrities in Korea on
sasaeng? Is that I don't know.
On a daily basis and you're not working with them, it leads me to believe that you're hanging around their work, hanging around their known hangouts. That's just the vibe I get. Do with that what you will. And last, that the fruit in Korea is insanely expensive. Now, is it expensive? Yes. Especially
finished. The fruit in Korea is very expensive. Like ridiculously expensive.
As an American, the fruit here is a lot more expensive than what I'm used to. However, when you see stuff like a box of 4 apples for $80, that fruit is meant to be given as gifts and they usually come from premium department stores. And if you go to local marts and markets,
yeah, but that it's expensive. We don't, in America and in Canada, we don't give gifts. We don't give fruits as gifts. We give other things as gifts. So those things will be more expensive. Whatever you're giving as a gift, those companies know it's a gift, so they can mark up their prices. Like flowers. Flowers is usually given as a gift. Flowers are expensive. So the other day, I bought some mangoes. I think I bought 10 mangoes for like 120,000 Korean won. Very expensive mangoes. Had one. It's one of the best mangoes I've ever had. Now, if I went somewhere else, the local street market, and try to buy a mango, an apple mango, I've done that before. The flavor's not there. So if you're looking for actually good quality fruit, yeah, you're going to have to buy the very expensive apples, 4 apples for $80. I don't know about the apples, but the mangoes and other expensive fruit, yeah, it's real. It's true.
You can find cheaper seasonal fruit. Koreans are not buying the fruit they eat on a daily basis at places like Lotte Mart and Shinsegae. As you can see, this list goes on, and let me know what lies are you tired of hearing about Korea.
Again, I don't know if they're full on lies. Maybe she's just sick and tired of people exaggerating what's happening in Korea, because a lot of those things she's talking about, she has some points, but a lot of it is true. Korea is super safe. Like, I feel extremely safe. I had all of my family here last year. I felt completely safe. I never had to worry about them. My safety, never worried. Especially if you're smart, you're not gonna have to worry about being safe in Korea. A lot of other things, I guess she has some points, but I don't know. You let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, I always link the original creator down below. You can click and follow her and check her out. K360 free newsletter. Find out what's happening in your city and beyond. Also, Busan Cheat Day Party happening May 30th at the Bay 101. It's a rooftop party. Athletic wear. We're going to have workouts and have a party and have fun. If you're interested, click the link below for more details. See you in the next one.